my name's Carla Samaden and I'm from the Holistic Approach Academy, and I'd like to welcome you to my video on cleansing crystals. And throughout this video I'm going to show you different techniques and different ways on how you can cleanse your crystals. And I find cleansing the crystals one of the most important things that you can do, but it's one of the things that people tend to forget or they tend to miss out. I mean, we've all done it. I've done it myself. You get a new piece of jewellery and you just can't wait to wear it, and the fact you put it straight on. But it's so important to cleanse these crystals because crystals absorb energy, and throughout their travels and in the shops, and different people have been touching them, picking them up. And if someone's had a bad day, or if there's some negative energy that it's absorbed, you want to make sure that you cleanse that before you wear it. So I just say there's many different ways to do it. They're short, they're quick, they're easy. It's just remembering that's the most important. And you can tell sometimes when a crystal needs to be cleansed, because sometimes they feel a bit dull, or they've lost their sparkle. It's basically like they say, if they're absorbing for you, absorbing negativity, absorbing energy that's around you, they get full. They get clogged up. And it's just, they do need to be cleansed. It's like being washed. It's like us. You wash your hair, you wash your clothes, and if you don't, the dirt and the grime builds up. So there's lots of different ways to do it, and I'm just going to show you just a few simple ones. So one of the good ways that you can use to cleanse lots of different types of crystals is by smudge sticks, using smudge sticks or incense sticks. So you would just get your smudge stick, light it, make sure it's always done safely. If you've got something underneath to catch any old ash debris that falls down, and you just see the smoke comes off this. This is very cleansing, and it sort of grabs any old energy that needs to be cleared. So you just wave it around your crystal. Let the smoke cleanse with the intention. Always hold the intention that this is cleansing the crystals. And you can do lots of different crystals at the same time with the smudge stick. And it's always very important that once you've used this technique that you open the windows afterwards. So it helps just to clear away any energy that it's picked up and cleared. So you can also use your room, do your room with that. And it's just a really good way to help to cleanse the crystals when they've had a build-up of energy. And if you haven't got a smudge stick, you can use an incense stick, using exactly the same way. Just you light your incense stick and just let the smoke waft over the crystal, just to help to cleanse any energy there. Another way you can use is a candle or fire. So if you've got lucky enough to have a real fire in your home, or you have fire pits outside in your garden, or candles, so you just light your candle, and again, you don't place the crystal directly in the heat, and just always do this very safely and very carefully. But some crystals are heat reactive and they can change colour, so you don't place them in the heat, you just place them close by, again with the intention that the heat is burning away and clearing away anything to leave that crystal ready to be cleared. So you can just hold the crystal above the flame and do it for as long as you feel you need to. I mean, if you're doing it at a fire in the home or in the garden, you can leave them around for a few hours, or you can just leave it, just do it for a few minutes, a few seconds, just with the intention that you are clearing and cleansing that crystal with the heat. If you're Reiki trained, you are able to use Reiki to cleanse with crystals. So you can use your Shoku Rei symbol, or you can use just using your hands, lay the crystal down on the table or in your hands, just again taking a couple of nice deep breaths, focus your intention, visualizing that you're just cleansing this crystal from any old energy that needs to be cleared, and then you just hold and just use your Reiki energy to cleanse your crystal. In the same way, it works with visualization. I do this with my daughters. This is a good way for kids to get to learn to use crystals. It can be quite fun. So you just get them to take a deep breath and blow over the crystal, and imagine and visualizing that breath, like the wind, is just clearing away anything that needs to be cleared to leave your crystal ready to work for you. And you repeat that as many breaths as you feel that you need to, until you can sort of feel, using your intuition, that the crystal is cleared. Crystals love moonlight, so during a full moon is a perfect time to cleanse crystals. You can use the energy of the day before the full moon and also the day after the full moon. So you've got 3 days there if you actually miss the actual full moon day. And you can just, again, if you've put them in the garden. Sometimes you think if you get all your crystals out, what your neighbours must be thinking, but you get all your crystals in the garden, or if you haven't got a garden, you can place them on the windowsill on those full moon days. And just, even if it's cloudy, the energy from the full moon, again setting the intention that you're placing the crystals here to be cleansed by the light and the energy of the moon, and then that will work, and you'll notice, you'll feel a difference the next day once you pick your crystals back up again. Sunlight is another good way to cleanse your crystals. Many crystals love to lay in the sun and have a sunbathe, especially the red ones, the orange ones, the fiery ones. And you can just lay them out in the sun for a few hours just to cleanse and recharge. But don't leave them for too long, especially certain ones like amethyst, ametrine or citrine or fluorite. There is quite a few different ones that would almost dry out, or the colour will fade in the sun. So just be careful of that, and also be very, very careful if you're placing crystals in the windowsill in the sunlight of quartz, clear quartz, because it can be a magnifier and the sun can come through and almost like magnify, so it can be a fire hazard. So be very careful when leaving crystals in the windowsill. But the sun is just a really good way to boost and charge and give the crystals a little bit more energy when you've been working with them. You can use salt or brown rice, is another quite easy method to cleanse your crystals. So you have a bowl filled with salt or the brown rice, and then you just submerge the crystals in that bowl for, again, as long as you feel you need to, a few hours, maybe a whole day, whole cycle. And when you're done with the cleansing, you throw away the rice or the salt. You don't reuse it, you don't eat it, because it's absorbed any negativity, has absorbed things. I sometimes find personally brown rice might be a better option of the two, especially if you're using softer crystals that can damage with salt, because when you cleanse and rub the salt off them, you make sure you do it with a very gentle brush or a soft cloth, so you don't scratch or damage the surface. The harder crystals can cope, they're fine with the salt, but if you're using one of the more softer, one of the more durable crystals, then maybe use the brown rice as the option. But it's just another quick and easy way that you can cleanse your crystals. Another really good way to cleanse your crystals is to bury them back in the earth. Crystals come from the earth, many of the crystals come from the earth, and the earth has a natural vibrational energy that helps to restore the crystals back to their natural state. So it's a really good way to cleanse, especially if you feel the crystal is getting clogged up and cleansed. Most crystals work really well when they're down in the ground, but do take into consideration, if you're going to use this method, that the moisture of the ground, so don't use ones that are water soluble, maybe selenite or malachite or things like that. And if the crystal has lots of little nooks and crannies, that dirt will get trapped in there, so you need to make sure you really, really clean them. But for the tumble stones, for ones without the lots of little points, bury them in the earth. It's a really good way. So You either use your garden, if you're lucky to have a garden, or you can do, if you don't have a garden, you can use a pot. And as long as the crystals are submerged under the earth, again, for how long you feel you need, that's enough. And when you bury them and you're placing them in the earth, do it with the intention that this earth is going to cleanse and charge and boost the crystal. And if you are using it in a garden, just a word of advice, if you want to find them again, maybe use little sticks or little markers or stones or something so you know where to go back to. If you're using a pot in the house, it's a little bit easier to find the crystals that you've buried. But I find that the crystals that really like this way, and when I've used this way to cleanse them, they've come out really just feeling lighter and more sparkly and clearer. So have a go at that. Sound is a really good way to cleanse crystals, and it's another quick and easy and simple way. The vibration of sound just clears through layers that build up debris, old energy, anything that needs to be cleared away. So you can use tuning forks if you have them, you can use tincture bells, these are tincture bells. So you would just, with the intention, always take a couple of little breaths before, just to get your mind focused on what you're doing. Set the intention that this sound is going to clear the crystal. And you just move it around the crystal. And just let that sound work through the layers. You can use the singing bowl, or you can clap your hands. You can use any type of bell. You can use toys, kids' toys that make the noise, the rattles, the bells, anything like that. If you want the sound, just using the sound to clear through the energies. I find it's very quick, very easy way to cleanse your crystals. Water, having a nice cool bath in the water is a really nice way to clear crystals from any old energy. You can just place them under running water, or you can submerge them in water for a little while. It's quick, it's easy, you can do it anytime. When I use water, running water, I just visualize that water is clearing out any negative energy, and the water is like a white light waterfall, and it was just get them clean, cleanse their energy, get them sparkly, clear, ready to work with you. But do bear in mind that there are some crystals that you need to avoid putting in water. So if you're not sure of the crystal that you've got, don't use this method, or do some research on it. So selenite you can't put in water, desert rose, there's malachite, salt lamps, Himalayan salt lamps. There are a few there. So, but if you're not sure, don't use this method, or just run the water over very quickly rather than submerging the crystal. But I just find that just like us having a bath or a shower, water is cleansing. So it's a really good, quick, easy way. You can actually use other crystals to cleanse and charge your crystals. Amethyst geodes or amethyst charging plates or citrine, a really good way, something like this, to cleanse your crystal. So at the end of the day, I mean, I use this at the end of the day with my jewellery that I wear. So I place it on here and leave it overnight. Or you can use other crystals. You can just place them and leave them there, again with the intention that the amethyst or the citrine is charging or cleansing the crystals. You can use carnelian. Put it amongst, if you've got lots of tumble stones, a little piece of carnelian can really boost all the other crystals. Or there's selenite wand here. And if you just lay crystals around a piece of selenite's so cleansing for any energy and any crystal. So just laying the crystals around the piece of selenite will help to cleanse them. So these are the ways you can do it, and leave it for the day, leave it for overnight. And again, another quick, easy ways that you can work with other crystals to help with other crystals. So it's good. You can use crystal cleansing sprays. These are ones that I make and sell, but you can make your own, or other people make these cleansing sprays, and they're made with the properties and the intentions to cleanse crystals, and they're a really quick, easy method to use. This is a good, quick, easy way sometimes I use between my crystal healing clients if you haven't got a lot of time. So you would just use the charged water or the charged spray, and you just let the energy, just let it, the mist fall over the crystals. And you can do lots of different crystals at the same time with one of these sprays. And I just find, again, it's just another quick, simple, easy way, always using the intention that you're cleansing your crystals. And there are some crystals they say that never need to be cleansed. Citrine is so positive. It's such an uplifting, energizing crystal. They say it never needs to be cleansed. Kyanite is another one. But I would always say use your judgment and intuition on crystals like this. If you feel it needs to be cleansed, cleanse the crystal. There is no harm in cleansing crystals as often as you can. I mean, if you're wearing them every day, cleanse them at the end of the day. If you're using it on different people, if you're a crystal healer or you use crystals very regularly, cleanse them in between clients, cleanse them. So just use your intuition when you're working with crystals. See, there are many different ways you can cleanse your crystals. Try a few out. See which one works well for you. Try different crystals with different methods. But I will say, please, it's so important to cleanse your crystals so they can work with you as effectively as they can. So if you feel it's losing its sparkles, getting dull, feeling clogged up, or they've been sitting there a little while gathering dust or not really being worked with, just give them a cleanse, build it into your routine of working with crystals and see if you notice a difference. I hope you've enjoyed that, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and enjoy your day.